In the past 4 weeks, we compared the best Bak Kut Tehs in North, South, East, West Singapore with Penang, Ipoh, Kuching and Johor. That was all warm-up. We knew the best Bak Kut Teh was going to come from Central Malaysia or Singapore, so it's time to double the ante. Today we are comparing 2 of the best Bak Kut Tehs in Central Singapore before going to Kuala Lumpur to experience 2 of their best, all in order to find the best Bak Kut Teh. Let's get it, guys. 你好，
点了陈店普洱，
对普洱，对对，
对呀，
谢谢。
需要我们帮你泡吗？
需要，谢谢。I told you warm up over. We had what? 8 Bak Kut Teh so far. The first one that actually helped you do the whole tea thing. Previously, the tea always comes pre-made, and I do this scalding thing, but my version is way more straightforward. Anyway, we got aged pu'er. 谢谢。The tea is not bitter. I shan't pretend to know the first thing about tea. So let's begin with 猪手. We got sorrel, we got fats, and we got a little bit of the trotter itself. The braised is very, very light. Easily the lightest so far in the series. It's like you can see the bottom of the bowl. Anyway. It's been 1 week, Eldrick. You have to let Kianki go. Very decent textures. Meat is tender, you can see for yourself. Fats are super soft. And the collagen part of it is good as well. Although it's really hard to tell with so little. I literally only get 1 joint. The braised, while light and transparent, do have layers to them. You can taste a relatively clean soya sauce, sugar, and I want to say tang kueh. A bit surprising because looking at it, I thought it might be really flat. Not the most nuanced one. Like I said, I really have to let Kianki go, but good enough. The parts that I didn't like, in my opinion, is too salty. I rarely ever bring up saltiness because the saltiness argument is very tricky. This is the salt enjoyment curve. A little bit of salt greatly improves something that is unseasoned, and that enjoyment will keep going up until a critical point where the author of Salt Acid Heat Fat will describe it as the zing. But after that point, it's a sharp drop off as we reach the territory of being over salty. But this amount is not standardized for everyone. I assume there's a normal distribution to how salty you like your things, and it's impossible to cater to everybody. That's why it's very common to see soy sauce bottles or salt on the table as condiments in many restaurants. But all that is to say that I think this saltiness is one standard deviation away from the population. And when something is over salty, right, even if it's layered well, it makes it taste very cheap. But other than that, really good. Let's move on to the Bak Kut Teh. Our first dark pepper soup. On the surface, I cannot tell if it's soy sauce or other ingredients coloring the soup. But that's not important. What's important is how it tastes. Oh, yo. Yeah, 谢谢。If we ball was a Bak Kut Teh, everything is cranked to 11, 12. Specifically the pepper and the garlic. The flavors are so strong, so intense, and it's actually spicy. I can take a decent amount of spice, not a lot, but even I'm reeling from the spiciness. Doesn't help that their tea is kept hot with a burner by the side, so I cannot really extinguish the fire. It sounds like a bad thing, but in this instance, I take it as a hit. There are times that you want things to be balanced and vanilla, but there are also times where you want things to be painful, choke you against the wall. Not only that, there is something else in the soup. I really cannot name what, because while the garlic and pepper are really intense, there is an obvious depth to it. It does not just taste like pepper and garlic. The meatiness is also not far behind. You can see the fat gelatinizing on the surface, the crinkles if you look carefully, but the pepper and garlic are definitely standing in front of everything. That comes at a cost though. With this much flavor, you taste the bitterness of the pepper. You taste the sourness of the garlic. Sourness is not exactly the right term, but I don't know what is siap. What is siap? And yet the thing is, although these are theoretically a miss, I don't find it so in this instance. When the flavors are this intense, I don't mind the off flavors. At the same time, when the flavors are this intense, it lends a really nice flavor to the bak kut itself. You can almost think about it as a dipping sauce. However, one miss is that one of the bak kuts could use a little more time. I do like that you can bite it off the bone, that it still has a little bit of texture, but here it is still stubbornly sticking onto the bone, even if you try to gnaw it off. Not bad! One of the better pepper bak kut tehs in the series so far, but plenty more to go. I'll see you guys at the next stop. We are now at Xingyuelai at Lavender, and finally, I'm reunited with my love. Dry bak kut teh. It looks so intense. There is the cuttlefish, there is chilies. Looks super caramelized on the sides. I even got the shallot oil rice to boot. Let's get into this. You know how when you play some games, some characters have favorite foods? When you feed them the favorite foods, there's like a bonus. I think dry bak kut teh is one of them. Going through the hits will be like explaining why dry bak kut teh is quoted. I really like this flavor profile. 鲜甜香辣苦. It has everything you want. This flavor that when you add in the shallot oil rice and you mix it together, it instantly makes for one of the best claypot rice. You know what? I don't want to sell already. If you haven't already tried dry bak kut teh, please just try, especially if you have a similar palate as me. Two minor misses. The first is that their dry bak kut teh only comes with pork belly, so texturally not nearly as interesting. I doubt it affects the flavors. And secondly, this is very subjective, but I don't feel like the flavor is as good as the ones I've had in Ipoh, or Penang for that matter. It seems a little more bland, although it could very well be some sort of bias at work. Nevertheless, really happy to have my hit of dry bak kut teh. So, let's move on. Herbal Bak Kut Teh. The ordering system is kinda cute. They let you choose two things that you don't want, and they give you a list. So like pork ribs, pork belly, meatball, enoki, tauki, and button mushroom. Then you just choose the cheaper one. Is that how it works? Anyway, let's give this a go. As usual, when it comes to Herbal Bak Kut Teh, we have to talk about balance. You can really feel the components trying to coexist, although, as usual, the meatiness is being aged out. I do taste more of the soy sauce and the herbiness, but at the very least, it's still kinda balanced. Texture of the meat is really good. You all saw how the pork rib just fell apart. The stomach was well cooked. There is but one miss. I was wondering if I was accurate in defining the proportions, whether I could detect the meat flavor if I tried really hard, but I ran out of soup. So I asked for a refill, and the refill is really bad. Okay, it's not that it's really bad, but it's another soup altogether. All I taste in the refill is shiitake mushrooms. Not only that, they stored in their refill in a flask like this, and it was not hot. It was warm at best. One thing I've learned on the Bak Kut Teh journey thus far is that refilling soup is not just for refilling soup. It is to add warmth back into the bowl. I think you all can tell the difference in satisfaction level between a hot spoonful of soup and a warm one. That's why some Bak Kut Teh places don't wait until you finish your soup before they offer a refill. Alright, all done. Time for KL, baby! We are back in KL, fresh off the coach. And we are now here at Ban Lee. And we have the first non-clay pot dry Bak Kut Teh. I am not sure how I feel about this. There are blatant pieces of fried ginger, but the braised does look really nice and sticky. Hopefully caramelized. Let's give this a go. With very little words, I can convey exactly how this tastes. This is the Tianji Zhou, the sauce of the Gongbao Tianji. Almost exactly like it, but you have sunset roll. It tastes great, but not a dry Bak Kut Teh. I literally don't need any more words. You know exactly how this tastes like, and I know exactly how I feel. Let's move on to the Bak Kut Teh. The herb smell is very, very strong, and it's rather dark. Let's try it. Pork diff. I wish I could definitively tell the difference in quality of pork or show it on camera somehow, but you all just have to take my word for it. The pork here is just nicer. Not only is it not smelly, you can suck on the bones all you want, you won't get that stench, but it also has this like appetizing umami to it. I know, very fluffy, I know, but it is what it is. The soup is also rather interesting. They made it really dark, sweet, bitter, and smoky. So I would have to guess it's a combination of the herbs and the seasoning that they're using. Perhaps using a soya sauce that has been caramelized much deeper. It then all leads to one miss. That seasoning is almost all you taste. There is no body, there's no weight, there's no meatiness to the soup. You can see how light it is. And while it is quite interesting to bring the soup that dark, you don't feel that satisfied after each serve. It's rather thin. What? Eldrick, not fair. I'm sorry, I'm really hungry. And I also want to tease the next episode a little. If you know, you know. So we have xiaogu with the bones sticking out. That's nice. This is almost like a pork drumstick in the same soup. Can I use my hands? I'm now very confident the quality of pork is much better. Even in all these fatty parts, right? Zero stench. I'm not sure if even if the pork is fresh, you can get a flavor that is so sweet and clean. The ingredient difference is so much. This sui gut or xiao gu also comes with this best part about eating pork, this collagen, my favorite. Unfortunately that it is served in the same soup and being so sweet, bitter forward, not savory enough, the whole piece of meat is very underseasoned. It does look like they braise it beforehand, before adding it to the soup. I think it only makes sense, but that seasoning is not strong enough. It is still pretty bland. You get a lot of fragrances, no doubt, but could very well use more of the heat of the salt. Okay, welcome to KL. On to the last stop of the video. We are now at Jalan Kepong, at Hing Bak Kut Teh, unanimously the most popular Bak Kut Teh in KL. There are two Hinkies along Jalan Kepong, both with about the same amount of reviews, and it seems that they are the same brand. Full disclosure, I've tried the other outlet before, if you have caught the Top 5 KL 2024 video, but it seems that I didn't know how to order. So today things are different. For the black dish, we have their signature 火爆五花片. And this seems like freshly cut pork. You see how it's like a little bit uneven and thicker than the usual pork belly? The smell coming off this is incredible. So let's give this a go. Wow. Might just be the best black dish of the series. The sauce, I'm sure you all can tell, it is what we want. That dark caramelized smoky flavor with hints of herbs and spices, but yet still savory forward. We've been through this. It is what we want. And we have had versions close to this. But the differentiating factor here is the pork. Not only is it good quality, and I want to say fresh because of how the pork behaves, the way in which it's cut and prepared really highlights both the texture and taste of the pork. It's a little bit chewy, yet tender eventually. When you bite in, there's that jack that lets you taste the sweetness of the pork. It really highlights the quality of the pork, even in all this mess. Not to mention the skill level required to nail the cook on pork slices in a dish where there's a lot of carryover cooking. Damn, the ceiling is raised again. Let's see what the Bak Kut Teh does. Thanks to one of the viewers, they told me to order Huangdi Gu or Emperor bones, and it seems like it's a very meaty rib with the bone cut down the middle. I'm like 90% sure if you go to a butcher and ask for Huangdi Gu, they will ask you what the hell are you talking about. But this is butchery. You cut it up however you like, name it, and as long as it can sell, it works. I honestly cannot tell which part of the pork is this. There's still like a little bit of intramuscular fat and some collagen and a fat cap. Is this a pork chop cut differently? I feel a little bit like Shah in. Kusakunai. I have built up a reflex growing up eating pork in Singapore. Whenever you bite into a fatty part, there's bound to be that stench. But here it's so tianmei. It's so sweet. I still cannot identify which cut of pork is this, but it is very, very satisfying. It is like the perfect rib with good lean to fat ratio, tender, very rich because of the fats. If anybody knows which part of the pig this is, please let me know. If normal pai gu was a 2, long gu was a 5, this is about a 9. But in terms of the most important thing that we are looking for in this series, the soup itself, not that impressive. It is still very decent. They have made a light savory first herbal soup. The proportions are nice. All the layers there, nothing too overpowering. But in terms of the depth of flavor, the weight of the soup, it does not go very far. If I change the presentation of this dish and served it on a plate, you would think this is just the drippings from a pork ribs dish, which, like I said, is not that bad. But if I want to go for a hearty soup, as you would with Bak Kut Teh, this doesn't quite hit the spot. But still, what a banger! Lots to think about. I'll see you guys at the cafe. We are now at Camp Forest. A little walk down Jalan Kepong, and I got myself a matcha latte. Am I in my performative arc? Anyway, recap. And we really need to recap. Where did we start? Ng Ah Sio. Their pork trotter was made, straight up. But their Bak Kut Teh was like the evil twin of the one at Tuan Yuan's. And I don't know, I quite enjoy it. Very messy, very dirty, but definitely very satisfying. Xing Yue Lai might be the restaurant closest to Malaysian Bak Kut Teh in Singapore, when all is said and done. Like if you want to enjoy Malaysian Bak Kut Teh without crossing the causeway, Xing Yue Lai is your best bet. And then to the second half of the video, where the quality of pork dramatically improved, in my opinion, we started at Ban Lee, where their dried Bak Kut Teh tasted like Gong Pao San Chen Rou. And their soup. I want to talk about the soup. Considering Hinky's one in as well, there might be some of you that enjoy this kind of more balanced, easier to drink Bak Kut Teh. But in my opinion, considering the origin of this dish, I feel like drinking the soup must make you go like LFGGGGGG. It must ready you to do a day of hard work. That's what the coolies wanted. And I feel like a balanced soup doesn't do that. I feel like a deep, hard-hitting soup does a better job. A balanced soup is more for like an afternoon of sending emails and not feeling too drowsy. Which, you know, may suit some. But for me, I think you all can infer my type. 1 plate I'll walk for the Bak Kut Teh, 2 plates I'll take a bus for the Bak Kut Teh, and 3 plates I'll go anywhere in the city for the Bak Kut Teh. And the Bak Kut Tehs today get 3-2-1-3. Admittedly, Ng Ah Sio might be a softer 3, but if you want a Bak Kut Teh that really whack the pepper, whack the garlic, Ng Ah Sio is exactly what you want. And I think there's a lot of credit in that. And we're not done yet. Next week will be the final normal episode. Members, you all will be getting a first look at Klang this Friday. We'll be looking at the less popular spots, saving the big boys for next Monday. But for now, that's all I have for you guys this time. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!